This is the first recruiting office of the Dragoons, and it was located in what was known at them days as the Robinson Building, J.R. Robinson's clothing store. It's now been torn down. This is our vehicles obtained from the farmers in the Verdun area, which we used to train flag signals so that we could move a whole regiment off by use of flags. This is a group mostly of officers taking their training in 1940, really started. This original armored car was made by Dominion Bridge, located on Logan Avenue in Winnipeg. It was a Ford V8 engine. The only way you could cool the motor was by pouring water into the rad from inside the armored car. That's Colonel Coupland getting out. This is the one where General Motors wanted to experiment with the flexible axles. And you see they act independently. It had two 303 Vickers machine guns in it. There's a ditch crossing. Picture there of Colonel Hawkins, who was one of the original commanders when they first formed an armored car regiment in 1935. We did have radios, so we used the flags, and the whole outfit was trained so that we could move all the vehicles at one time without straggling all over the place. Our unit was located in MD-10 and came under the command of the Lord Strathconnell Horse, being the only cavalry regiment in Winnipeg at that time. This is the commander of the Lord Strathconnell Horse, sitting with Colonel Coupland, watching our officers wave their flags. We didn't have one accident, believe it or not. Here is Mr. Walls, Fatty Walls as we called him. The chap I told you that couldn't get in the outfit because he's too fat. This is the St. Charles Ranges where the officers were practicing firing the Vickers guns, and there's Al Marshall there in his black sweater, who became a squadron commander later on. Al Perdue sitting there loading Stan Street in the sweater. And this is the armored car firing away with lots of noise. If you wanted to fire the guns, you had to load your own belts, and that's what they were doing right here, loading their belts. That's Casey Foster at the armored car. The light-colored hat belongs to Colonel Hawkins, secretly known as Boxcar Hawkins. That's our former boxer, Canadian boxer champion, Johnny Wilson, with talking to the colonel of this. Here's the gun firing. You can see the actual puffs of smoke coming out of the muzzle of the machine gun. This is the first inspection by a Major General from Ottawa for the 18th Reconnaissance Battalion, as we were called in those days. We had not to date received any armor. Colonel Coupland was taking the march past, taking the salute. At this time, the regiment was requested to supply reinforcements for the Winnipeg Grenadiers in Hong Kong. These lads were taken from this parade. And note that the unit equipped with the Ross rifle, not the up-to-date modern Lee Enfield. This is the march past. March past in line. This called the route. Now they'll change direction. A mighty proud man of this regiment. This next scene's taken at Camp Borden, where we went for our armored training. Just a minute. While we were at Camp Borden, the East-West football game was played, which the West won. That was in the era of Chess McCants and Les Lear. Local boys played on the football team. Here we are going into the CN exhibition grounds, where we were billeted in the horse barns for the weekend of the game. We had all our equipment with us as the regiment was on standby for what was thought to be a possible riot in a coal mine strike in Nova Scotia. Here's yours truly, who was a Squadron Sergeant Major in Baker Squadron at that time. The following are a few scenes taken on our trip to the West Coast, whereby the boys in the outfit were taken for a march through different towns to get their exercise, being cooped up in the train for such a long time from Camp Borden. These are some of the scenes taken en route to the west coast, where we were supposedly to go to Japan. Fortunately, or unfortunately, whichever, the mumps hit the regiment and we were quarantined at Work Point Barracks, Esquimalt. This is one of the train stops in the mountain. Yeah, that's in Sauk Harbor, the first outpost outside of Victoria. And then here we are with the lumberjacks. We worked with them on defense. They taught us how to climb trees. We taught them how to dig slit trenches. That's a self-portrait. That's the trestle bridge, which the lumber trucks used. Here's the regiment takes part in the Victory Parade for bonds for the RAF. Took place in Bramley, where RHQ was located. Dog Squadron was there as well. That is Dog Squadron on the march path. A local policeman should take his hands out of his pocket. That's at Bramley, RHQ, through the town. That has to be headquarters and Dog Squadron. That's the local RAPs. These are the nurses from the local hospital in Bramley, followed by the Land Army girls. These are the girls who volunteered to work on the farm, to put the crops in, take the crops off, do all the farm work. That's the local RAP. No parade would be complete without a speech from the SEAL. More nursing homes. You know, Vic trying to make the PT parade at 6:15 in the morning. You know, the officers are putting on a mess dinner.